Enhanced Movements. This is our Movement Mondays, and today we're talking about leverage. Now, leverage, the intention of us calling this leverage is we want to be able to initiate a conversation about helping people find and discover how they can create better shapes, better positions for lifting or training or exercise or doing things at home so that they can create more leverage. More leverage so that you can maybe do something more efficiently, or you can do something potentially safer to reduce injury, etc. So if we look at doing like a bicep curl, this is just a short example of levers, right? My bicep has a very short lever arm because it attaches right around here, and we're talking about the elbow joint here, right? So shorter lever arm to the elbow as compared to the weight that I'm holding outside of my arm here. So much longer lever arm for the weight, shorter lever arm for the bicep. So the bicep has to work harder depending on how much weight we're holding here. Now, again, lever arms being at a disadvantage for those lever arms would and could be potentially beneficial because that's going to obviously be harder on muscles and create more strength. But we also want to take all that in consideration so that we can load appropriately, as well as also reduce chances of injury or overloading. Okay? Now, an example we're going to use for this as far as like a more movement-based or dynamic movement would be kettlebell swing. If I do my kettlebell swing and that kettlebell is floating here, as that kettlebell starts to initiate its way down to the ground, if I hinge too early, you're going to notice I have a large lever arm from the weight that I'm holding to the axis, which would be mostly the hip, and that's going to create more, well, the hip and the whole posterior chain, each one of these lumbar segments is also part of the axis point, but it's going to create a lot more torque around those joints, okay? So again, could be beneficial to build muscle, build strength and resiliency, but if we're doing that rep after rep after rep, could that potentially create a problem, and or is that going to make us less efficient? Whereas, if that kettlebell is starting to come down and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and it gets really close to me and then I initiate the hinge, now you can see if I hinge right around here, much shorter the lever arm than out here. So that's just, again, just a very kind of primitive example of what we're trying to describe here. Ultimately, all we want you thinking about is how can you leverage yourself to be able to complete whatever you're trying to do a little bit more efficiently or appropriately, okay? So that's why we're calling this leverage here. If you have any questions on how this might apply, please feel free to reach out to us. This is, again, kind of just an introductory concept, but if you're motivated to eliminating pain, getting stronger, or moving better yourself, please feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to help and love to answer any questions for you. Once again, my name's Antonio, and this is Enhanced Movements. Thank you for watching, guys, and we'll chat soon.